My mum was the first person in our family to do triathlons when she was in her mid-30s. And, then my older brother and sister did a couple when they were young. And then when I was a teenager, I did maybe just one or two a year. But my other sport was more focused on swimming and competing in surf lifesaving. And then not until I was 18 and a bit older did I start to do triathlon as my main sport, and the one that I really practiced and trained for, and wanted to do well at. And I did 2 years. I did my first Ironman when I was 20 years old, after a couple of years in the sport, and then I turned professional 2 years later. And ever since turning professional, it was my dream to win Hawaii. The progression of my results in Hawaii is, it was sort of what I'd spoken about with my mentor. We spoke that that would be a good progression to go top 10 and then a little better and then a podium and then to win it over 4 years. And we pretty much nailed that. But it was more, I feel that physically I was always capable of winning earlier, but it was mentally and the preparation and things that I needed to learn before I could, use my full physical ability in Hawaii. I try and train by feel, and when I'm tired, I take a break. I listen to my body, and I try to be more consistent over the long term. So, if I tried to do more training one week, the next week I might be really tired and have to take more days off. But over the long term, by listening to my body and taking breaks when I need it, over the long term, I take less long periods off with less injuries and less fatigue or illness. So I just take more breaks more often, which some people think I'm training a lot less, but in a long period, I'm having more, or I'm still having a good amount of days. Everybody else still trains more than I do, but I train more than they think. Marino had an 8-minute lead off the bike, and I thought that's pretty good. He's a very good athlete. He has the Ironman world record, and he could be very tough to catch. But I took my time, and I walked some aid stations, and I did a couple of stretches, and then eventually he came back at halfway. He was walking, and I passed him, and there was a moment before I caught him where I thought maybe I won't catch him. Maybe he's too good and I have to have second place today. But, very quickly, within a couple of kilometers, that changed. I started to hear splits that he was coming back to me. And suddenly I was thinking about how it was going to feel to be in the lead of the Hawaii Ironman. Sebastian's Kienle's my main motivation. He's young. He won the 70.3 Worlds. He's very, very fast on the bike, and he can run, and he likes the heat. He won in Vegas. He did well in Hawaii. He likes the heat, so he's really an athlete that is a danger in Hawaii. So he's a big part of my motivation, and I focus on him, and I try to picture him when I'm out riding my bike in training. I picture Sebastian, and I try to ride like he does. Yeah, there's a lot more commitments since winning the World Championships for appearances, but I enjoy those, and I'm trying to realize that that's a big part of my career now, and I enjoy doing those, so I want to make it a bigger part of my career. The appearances, the signings and autographs, and photos with people, and offering advice and passing on the knowledge that I've learned over the last 8 years that got me to winning the World Championships. I enjoy having the opportunity to tell people about what I've learned, and it takes away from my training and my rest, but from now to Hawaii, I do no more appearances and don't travel, and I just go home and I really just train. But for the first half of the year up to now, I have traveled and I've done these other appearances. So, you know, you have to balance out the year and focus on what's the most important goals. And the first half, the most important goals have been, you know, appearances and doing things for the community. And then the second half of the year is about winning Hawaii.